You know we got to eat. And you know what, Rob? We over here at Eastside Soul Food in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And it's time to eat. Oh, yeah. Woo!
What made you pick up the guitar?
The guitar was always lying around. And I come from a very musical family with all kinds of musicians, classical musicians, gospel musicians, all kinds. So the interesting thing is that we grew up in the federal housing project. We did not have a car, but we had a piano in the pantry. All my uncles and aunts had instruments, trombone, trumpet, clarinet. Now we're poor, but this is how much music was a part of our household.
You just started playing and that's it.
I was too busy playing music. I was working with people like Eddie Floyd, Jeter Davis. When a man.
Were you playing with Bobby Rush yet?
Yeah, I did. The first time I worked with Bobby Rush was in the studio. And I actually did more recording with Bobby than live. That first record I did with Bobby was Sue. It was the hit record. We recorded it in Studio B at Malaco on Northside Drive in Jackson.
It's kind of like Girlfriend. When you're not looking for a girlfriend, that's when you found your girlfriend. That's what happened to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, the thing
exactly
is that it's such a gift to be able to do the same thing that I was doing at 13, 14 years old. That's making noise in my bedroom. And people pay me to make noise on stages around the world. That's your heartbeat. That's your pulse. So people feel the blues even if they don't like it.
Yeah.
And people don't know why they like it. And then they like the Rolling Stones. You see what I mean? And then they like Chuck Berry, all right? Then they like Elvis Presley. And they don't understand, a lot of people, and it's okay not to think that deep about it.
We got fried chicken, we got fried catfish,
I know you got the video, but you better get some still photos of this. Come on, look at
mac and cheese.
What we got, fried chicken and catfish?
Man,
we're special.
Oh, Lee.
Some hot sauce would be great, please. And thank you.
When you get hungry, you got to eat. Maybe breakfast.
You said what? You're in Tuscany and you miss what?
I miss the dog hair chair from the studio when we film.
It is comfortable.
Yeah.
I go sit in it sometimes if I need to think. It's nice. Well, I'm joined from Tuscany by You Gotta Eat co-host, restaurateur, serial entrepreneur, and philanthropist Robert St. John.
Hey, buddy.
Making it over there?
Yeah. It's good. I think I'm 6 weeks in, 4 groups, started in Scandinavian countries, and then I did 3 Tuscany groups. Tomorrow, I head to Portugal to wrap up the 5th and final Yonderlust tour for the spring season. I'm ready to be home.
I bet. Get some bacon at Midtowner.
Yes, and pancakes. And I'm joined by my co-host in his studio in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, the one, the only Drew Wooton, musician, editor, man about town, bon vivant, the man.
Man.
Woody.
Your two got Woody. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it's in the shot. I got rid of the vanity plate. A little too much. But man, this episode is so much fun. I told you offline, I think this is our best episode by far. We're on home turf in Hattiesburg at Eastside Soul Food. Vanessa and her son opened up just for dinner. They don't open up for dinner. They're a lunch-only place. Had some great food, and they opened up just so we could film there. It was incredible. Our guest for You Gotta Eat number 11 is Vasti Jackson. And man, what a guest he was.
Yeah, so if you're new to the show, what we do is we don't want to take too much of anyone's time, but we want to visit with interesting people and learn all about them and hear their stories and have them share stories. But we figure you got to eat. So we let them choose a restaurant and we go there and we film and we carry on a conversation and share a meal. And Vasti chose Eastside Soul Food.
Yeah, and it was really cool too because she was a huge fan of yours. And we got a lot of great photos, hung out, and man, you and Vasti even jammed a little bit. But I don't want to give too much away because this episode is absolutely great. You've known Vasti for a long time. I've known him since we lived here. My father played drums with him. If it wasn't the first band when we moved to town, it was the second band. Vasti's band that my dad played in. And so I've known him for more than 3 decades. And I think you can tell in the conversation we're all very comfortable with each other. And this is proof positive that this is not a food show. I know it's misleading. You got to eat, and you have a man of your stature in it. But this is just a show to talk to people and find out what they're about. And musicians and foodies and chefs alike are very similar. And so you can tell that in this episode that we really got along and really not just the respect, but enjoyed each other's company. Like for me, it's inspiring, like being from Hattiesburg, seeing how much somebody from Hattiesburg can accomplish and achieve. And I think it's a great episode. So without further ado, this is You Gotta Eat number 11 with Vasti Jackson. It's so much after a while.
You got to eat. You got to eat. When you get hungry, you got to eat. When you get hungry, when you get hungry, you got to eat. It may be breakfast, it may be lunch, it may be dinner, Lord, it may be brunch. When you get hungry, when you get hungry, you gotta eat. Might like it spicy, might like it sweet, might like lemonade, man, you might like tea. But when you get hungry, when you get hungry, you know we got to eat. And you know what, Rob? We over here at Eastside Soul Food in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and it's time to eat. Oh yeah. Woo!
Shit, we can just call it a show right there. That's good.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That was amazing.
A toast to great food.
Great food, good health, good friends.
Yeah.
In Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Vasti.
That was
What's
amazing, man.
Thanks for joining us, and especially thanks for choosing Vanessa's restaurant here, Eastside Grill. She is not open for dinner, but she opened because of Vasti. We got the hookup, and we're here for dinner.
And I can smell it.
Yeah, I can too.
It smells good.
Really
It
good.
smells great.
Man, when I came to Hattiesburg, I guess about 37, 38 years ago, I used to come to this place and eat, and at that time it was called Down Home Soul Food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this spot goes back to the early 20th century, I guess around 1910 or something. You know what I mean? And so all the people would meet here. It was Sunday lunch or after church.
Got it.
Then people could come and eat lunch during the week, and then the American Legion, and then the things that they would hold meetings and benefits for veterans. This spot, this is hallowed ground where we're sitting.
And we're right by Steelman Grocery too, which is also an institution where I've bought greens, collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens forever.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
So we're in the heart of it.
Yeah. And so Vanessa Jones, she, after I think it had been closed for like maybe 10 years or so, she bought the business, she bought the property, and she began to revitalize it. So now it's Eastside Soul Food Restaurant.
Nice. When did she buy it?
I think about,
2018.
2018.
She showed me photos from 2019, the facade and how much work she's put into it. It's really impressive.
Yeah. And and she, if you need some legal work done, man, she's a fantastic attorney as well.
Yeah. Awesome.
And she can cook, man. No, she can cook.
A Renaissance woman.
Yes, she is.
Multi-talented.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting because you and I happen to be in the USA at the same time.
That's right. That's rare. I'm about to head out, and I'm sure you're not too far behind me.
Yeah. And because, hey, Robert, where are you? Oh, I'm in Austria. Oh, Vasti, where are you? Well, I'm in Rwanda. Yeah. Oh, Robert, where are you? Well, I'm in Tuscany, Vasti. I'm in Rome. Okay.
But we hooked up in Tuscany. But Vasti, we hung out for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Took him to eat some Palo. And,
Yeah.
Drew's eating at all those
Oh
places.
man, yeah, we had a wonderful time, and it was a great downtime for me because I was all over.
You were doing the Ike Turner thing.
I was doing the Ike Turner musical, and we were, my home base was out of Berlin since 2017. So I did that from 2017 to 2023.
When are you heading back?
Well, right now, tentatively May.
Okay. May of 26.
May of 26. And right now we have Spain on the books. So we'll see.
All right. I'll be in Portugal in April, so we'll just miss each other.
Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll just come to Portugal.
Come
I'll just
early.
take an early flight.
Come home. Come home.
What's it like when you go tour in Europe to be able to bring, not just your style, but like so much heritage and culture and history that's from this area that we take for granted? What's that like when you go over there and get to tour and spread the good news of the blues?
I've been, for about 37 years I've been touring internationally. And blues and jazz is the classical music from America unto the world. You have Paganini and you have Mozart and Bach and you have all of these people. Well, they think so highly of, let's say, the culture that gave birth to the sound. Because, it's like, music is kind of like the sonic reflection of the culture, the life of the people. So it's highly respected. And when I say that in terms of they're not just looking for the next, quote, marketed hit record. There is a respect for the art and the humanity in the music. There's a saying that's very true. In terms of blues and jazz and gospel music, you may not have a #1 hit single, but you will always be able to work. There's someone somewhere in the world that wants to hear blues and jazz and gospel.
Do you find, I know it used to be 50, 60 years ago it was the case, but you think it's still the case where the Europeans appreciate the blues more than America as a whole?
Well, and we've heard that question a lot. Yeah. Let's just say it's a different type of appreciation.
Yeah.
It's not so much about the fad. They really look at it from what was the development of the people that brought this sound to life. Now we know that it's that in the US of A, that it was really the collision of Europe and Africa and indigenous folk as well. The blues as a sound before it was labeled a genre existed outside of the English language and outside of the USA. Yeah. If you go to Mali, you go to Senegal, you go to even East Africa, you go to Ethiopia, you go to Rwanda, you go to Tanzania, you hear these rhythms and you hear these melodies in different languages. So when we think about the blues as a genre in America, we think about what? Hard times and struggle. And some people will even say, well, slavery and so forth. And all of this was the transatlantic slavery. And we understand because these people were not permitted to speak their languages, right? The drum was illegal because, they knew that they were communicating with the drums. So having to sing those hymns and learn the English language and being given, taught from the Bible, they Africanized those hymns. So you have Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Church of England, Protestant, John Newton. Well, the Africanization of that is Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound.
I'm on number 2.
Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah. So you hear the influence.
Much prefer number 2.
And so, and we have the same thing because I Drew's father, who's from Lafayette, Louisiana, Cajun country, Creole land. I did a project called Zydeco Crossroads, and it showed the influence of the blues and the African rhythms on Cajun music that developed into Zydeco. So what we have here is that most of Europe is really interested how this came to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And for us, we've been around it so much. What does it say? Something like commonality or something breeds.
A mutual commonality.
You're right. So
Willie Morris used
right.
that term.
So what we have here is people don't think about all that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't think about the blues is this. Tuku, 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 right? Which is because, you know, your father's a percussionist. It's like the first and third eighth note of the triplet. So you have a waltz, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's say this is Europe, right?
This
One,
is the
two,
triplet.
three. Yeah.
And you take the middle one out.
Right, absolutely. Now this is what happens. 1, 2, 3 on my right hand. Mm-hmm. Then I have 1 and 3 on my left hand. 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1. With this, that's your heartbeat. That's your pulse. So people feel the blues even if they don't like it.
Yeah.
And people don't know why they like it. And then they like the Rolling Stones. You see what I mean? And then they like Chuck Berry, all right? Then they like Elvis Presley. And they don't understand, a lot of people, and it's okay not to think that deep about it, but this is the rhythm of life. And all African music is based on that. And then you have the subdivisions, you know, with 2 over
12/8 is
Yeah,
really common
6/8,
in
yeah.
indigenous music you hear in Africa, and then it's just
And you've spent a
made
lot of
way
time
over
in
here.
Rwanda.
Rwanda, Ghana, West Africa, Morocco, Tanzania, Tunisia. Yeah.
Let's go back to McComb. Mm-hmm. Is it outside of McComb or in McComb proper?
I grew up in McComb proper, right?
So you were born in McComb.
Macomb City Hospital. Grew up in the Macomb projects. Federal Housing Project.
1959.
That's when I was born.
Yeah, I'm 1961. I thought we were close.
Very close together.
Yeah,
And
we're
guess what?
close.
We look good, man.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
Hey, right here, man. Yeah. He's a kid.
Yeah,
He's a kid.
He's a chap. Yeah. A
So
young guy.
growing up in Macomb in the 60s and 70s, like we did, what's your first musical memory?
My grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather played guitar, harmonica, and sang. And he was a carpenter and an auto mechanic. My grandmother was a domestic worker. And I come from a very complicated mesh of cultures.
Talk to us about that.
Well, my grandfather was short, like me. I'm 5'6", with a 10-foot attitude, you know what I mean?
At least.
Yeah, at least. And he was short and dark, and my grandmother was tall and fair complexion. She was of African mixed with Irish. And so when I grew up, and my grandmother, and I remember, I don't know how I remember as a toddler, you know what I mean? Even crawling around, my grandmother would take me to some of the, because we're in Mississippi. Yeah. She'd take me to some of the white folks' house that she was cleaning. They were, you know, and she was Cousin Mary. You know, we don't say Cousin Mary, Cousin Mary.
Yeah.
I never thought anything about that as a kid. So we'd be downtown or somewhere, and these white folks would identify my grandmother as cousins. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, and on my father's side, part of his people were of Syrian, Middle Eastern, we say the term Middle Eastern benefit. So they were Lebanese and all these people. So we say Benjamin, they say Benjamin. Right. We say Joseph, they say Joseph. And so the interesting thing is is that I grew up bumping into these people who were, since we're talking about McComb, Mississippi now, in the early 60s. And this is American History Month, February. Right. Okay, we just call it American History Month, February. Yeah, it goes all year round, but nevertheless. So here's a curious thing. At that time, I didn't know a bunch about world geography and blah, blah, blah. So I never thought about the mere fact that my white friend's last name was Khalil.
Right.
So I grew up in Macomb with all of this
Kind
mixture.
of a gumbo.
It was a big gumbo. Spanish, French, Middle Eastern, Irish, German, and British, of course. That's how I grew up. My grandmother liked country and gospel music. That's all she wanted to hear. My grandfather was just Lightning Hopkins. You know what I mean? B.B. King. I had country and gospel on this ear, right? And I had the hard blues and soul in this ear. And then I would go to, as an infant, with my grandmother to work, and she was Cousin Mary to these white folks. Maybe that's why I'm so confused.
I mean, you think that benefited you though, having like kind of a worldly outlook in a small town, in a small state, you know?
It did tremendously, because look how these things play out. In 2016, I did an album called The Soul of Jimmy Rogers, who's the father of country music.
Meridian, Mississippi.
Right. But I grew up in a house where my grandmother loved Johnny Cash. My mother loved, what was the guy, something Gibson. Don Gibson. We looked at Hee Haw and Minnie Pearl and String Bean and Joe Maphis on the guitar and Roy Clark on the guitar and Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn, and I can keep going and keep going and keep going. Did I think that would have an impact on me? Of course not.
Right.
Didn't give it a thought. I get a call to do a musical called America's Blue Yodeler, which is about the life of Jimmy Rogers. So when I get a call about this, Brett Gully, who's a great Jimmy Rogers tribute artist, he said, well, we're doing this play, and I think you'd be good for a part in it. So the director called me, and I said, yeah, I'm interested. And he said, well, the thing about it is that this character, Hobo Bill, plays harmonica. He don't play guitar. He said, can you play harmonica? I said, when is the play? It was like maybe February. And he said, it's going to be in May. I said, I'll be playing. I'll learn harmonica by then. And I was, in the process of doing all the work that I do. So as I'm studying the script, and I have to sing some duets with Britt Gully, and I'm listening to this Jimmy Rogers stuff, and I'm researching it, and I'm like, man, this is like blues. This is what I'm thinking in my living room. So a blues turnaround was like this. Classic, right? Yeah. You're a lady, oh lady, oh lady. So you take the Swiss and the Austrian yodel, with the African influences.
As much as I've listened to blues, I'm a huge blues fan. I've never made that connection.
Kind of shattered my universe. Is that?
you hear?
Yeah.
How best out of school on us here.
Jimmy Rogers would say, I'm yodeling the blues. So now you got this Swiss influence, Switzerland, and you have the Austrian influence, and you have the African influence merging in Meridian, Mississippi.
Alpine blues in Meridian, Mississippi.
Come on, man.
Wow, Alpine blues. Oh, that's a good.
And so because he spent all this time around these people and the hobos, and they were influencing. So a lot of people don't know that Jimmy Rogers actually recorded with Louis Armstrong.
I didn't know that.
And here's the other clincher. The big 10-gallon hat and all of that stuff, it was just marketing.
Mm-hmm.
He traveled everywhere, and he was influenced. San Francisco, New York, Chicago, St. Louis, New Orleans, all of this stuff. So the real 10-gallon hat cowboy thing, that was from Gene Autry?
Gene Autry, Roy Rogers.
Right. The management gave him that look.
Marketing. That's crazy. Well, so you grow up with all these influences, things you're listening to, but for you to be able to be that comfortable with a guitar, even right now, that means you spent some serious time with that instrument. What made you pick up the guitar?
Good call.
The guitar was always lying around. And I come from a very musical family with all kinds of musicians, classical musicians, gospel musicians, all kinds. So the interesting thing is that we grew up in the federal housing project. We did not have a car, but we had a piano in the pantry. All my uncles and aunts had instruments, trombone, trumpet, clarinet. Now we're poor, but this is how much music was a part of our household.
Priorities.
So I didn't make a choice. Something was laying around, I started banging. Then they brought me a drum, and then, then I was a percussion major like your father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went to Jackson State, of course.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
fantastic.
hello, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Oh man,
Look at
this
that.
is going to be awesome.
This is gonna be really good.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be really good.
It smells delicious.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank
Vanessa,
you so
thank
much.
you for
Thank
opening
you.
up for us, man.
Robert St. Jude.
Well, well, you got to aim higher, Vanessa. You got to set your sights a lot higher.
And so,
My son
look at that.
Look at that.
What?
He absolutely loves Tabellas.
to Bella's, yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
We got
Ooh,
fried
get it.
chicken. We
you
got
better,
fried
babe, you
catfish.
better. Listen, I
we
know you got the video,
cornbread,
but you better get some still
sweet
photos
potatoes,
of this. Come on, look at
mac and cheese.
what we got: fried chicken and catfish.
Man,
We're special.
golly.
Oh,
Some hot sauce would be great, please. And thank you.
Yeah. So,
Wow, catfish.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is exciting.
so the thing is, man,
Music was a priority in the house.
music was a priority,
Yeah.
and so
Thank you.
Thank you,
once
Vanessa.
I began to make noise, and I was the noise maker as a kid. I was always humming. So they were happy, for me to start doing something than all of just humming. So, and that's really how it began. And so I began to, in that environment, you develop really, really big musical ears. Yep.
Yeah.
It's over here. And so,
That's how you keep talking. We're gonna eat.
yeah, yeah.
This is really good.
I didn't learn to read music until I was 15
Okay.
because everybody we
just
all
play
just
by
play
ear.
by ear.
Yeah.
Which is
Did you have a
such great
musical
training.
teacher? Music
No,
teacher?
it didn't quite happen
You
like
just
that.
taught yourself?
No, I mean, yeah, to play the guitar.
Humans have been playing by ear longer than they've been reading
Well,
music.
the beautiful thing is that music is to be heard.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever the tools you use. But the interesting thing is my cousins who were fantastic musicians, right? And they were in the marching band and the concert band and the jazz band. They were ahead of me. So I went to, I would go to rehearsals with them and some of the college professors and things like that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's legit.
Ooh, sweet potatoes.
Put this in the episode.
Yeah. Good.
Oh man, you got us?
Ooh, yeah. Dude, the blues yodeling still
So
so crazy. So you didn't learn to read music until you're 15.
I was like going to my 10th grade. The senior guy was graduating who played guitar, Clint Fortenberry. And my cousin Patrick Jackson took me to the rehearsal, introduced me to the band director, because I was going to be going to high school the next year, right?
Right.
I said, oh, well, great. Plug in your guitar. He said, okay, let's pull up this song and start. We started, and I'm trying to find the chords by ear because I don't even know the chord symbols, anything.
Right.
He stops the band. He says, Jackson, start at, page so-and-so, so-and-so. I didn't know what he was talking about. He said, unplug your guitar and don't come back in here until you learn to read music in front of the whole class.
Oh, wow.
I love when someone said, yeah, go to measure 122, and you're like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
In front of everyone.
In front of everyone.
That is an oh shit moment.
And I couldn't leave.
I'm taking my jacket off. Do some serious eating.
That pair of mics on you.
I'll get it.
I couldn't leave because I rode there with my cousin.
You're stuck.
So
Oh my gosh.
So now, after the rehearsal was finished, he said, Jackson, listen, I want you to come by my house. He was a flute player, but he played a little guitar and piano and all of that. I began to go by his house, and he taught me the notes on the guitar and chord symbols and stuff like this. He said, in order for you to be in the jazz band, you're going to have to be in the marching band.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
already played
Yeah, marching. Yeah.
drums, but now I got to study over the summer rhythmic dictation, all of this stuff. So I began to play percussion.
You're talking his language now.
Paradiddles, radamacus.
Yeah, man.
Flam.
Radamacus
diddles.
are my favorite.
Okay. So to shorten the story, I ended up taking music theory, being in the marching band, being in the chorus. So I was just inundated my, sophomore, junior, and senior year in high school of studying music academically, and got a scholarship, a percussion scholarship to Jackson State. So I had to play marimba, vibraphone, timpani.
Did you play in the sonic boom?
One semester.
One semester.
And because I was gigging.
Isn't it funny how, you get caught up with all these proficiencies, these technical proficiencies and things you have to do to become a musician. But for me, the best part was the social aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Was because that becomes your social circle. Same way like you're on a sports, an athletic team.
Right.
Your teammates are your friends. That's who you're spending all your time with. But what was that like, going through high school, college, and then gigging? What was the hang like with other musicians?
Let me tell you what the hang like in McComb was.
Okay.
I grew up around all these musicians. I was just a little kid. So the older musicians, there were good drummers in the neighborhood. So they heard me playing guitar. They said, well, come and play over here with us. So they would talk to my mother, my grandmother. Can Vasti come to this juke joint, this club, and play with us? I'm a 12-year-old kid. I was in nightclubs playing.
Yeah.
I get $2 and a hamburger and a Coke. That was the hang.
Very similar. I was gigging in casinos at 12 and 13.
Right.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to Jackson at 17, I was already somewhat a seasoned musician.
So that would have been 76?
77.
77.
So you already knew the score.
Yeah, and so I immediately began working, with the older musicians in Jackson, people who had worked with Bobby Band and B.B. King, who were doing recording sessions at
Were
Malaco.
you at Malaco?
Yeah,
then?
I started working the next year in '78. I started at Malaco at 18.
Were you playing at the Subway? Was Subway open then?
It was the Summers Hotel and the Subway Lounge, and there was Queen of Hearts, and there was Club 77, and there was the Discotheque, and there was all kinds of. There was a really big music scene in Jackson at that time. So.
And it was all downtown.
Well, they had it on the reservoir too.
Yeah.
Great stuff on the reservoir as well. But the discotheque was downtown. The Royal American recording was on Lynch Street. Then there was another Mississippi Recording Company was on State Street. Jackson had multiple studios. It wasn't just Malaco. Right. At that time in the late 70s, there was a lot going on.
What was your first experience in a recording studio in the late 70s?
Good question.
Malaco.
Do you remember the song?
But I remember the artist, McKinley Mitchell. He had
Guitar?
Guitar and Rhodes. He had two big hits. One was called "The Town I Live In Is Lonely, So Lonely I Could Cry. I told my mother, my father too, one day this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this town," so forth and so on. Then it was the gospel stuff with the Williams Brothers and the Jackson Southerners. The first session that I walked in on, I didn't play on.
Southerners.
Yeah, the Jackson Southerners. Great gospel. Was You Can Ring My Bell.
Anita Ward. 1978.
James Stroud was recording the percussion, the syndrome part to that. First time I walked into Malaco.
Wow.
And James was a great drummer. And then he became an A&M exec in Nashville. Wow. And a lot of the Malaco cats eventually went to Nashville, which opened more doors up for people like me. Dino, the late, great Dino Zimmerman, who was a great guitarist who played on Down Home Blues. There was Don Barrett, a great bass player, went to Nashville. Carson Whitsitt, a great pianist. And at that time, I didn't think about cameras because you had to have the disposal. We all just, and I didn't know these people. Jimmy Johnson from Muscle Shoals. Yeah. Clayton Ivey, Roger Hawkins on drums. I was meeting all these people, man, 19, 20, 21 years old.
Damn, that's awesome.
So that was another whole
education in itself.
I got to tell Drew, when we did the Vasti concert in Clinton at the Institute for Southern Storytelling, Mississippi College, remind me the name of the owner of Malaco.
Sammy Couch and Wolf Stevenson. Wolf Stevenson was there.
Wolf was on the first row, owned Malaco. Just think of all the artists he'd been in. He came up to me after the show. He said, I have seen 60, 70 years of live music. This is what he said. Vasti wasn't standing there. He said, this was the absolute best performance I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome.
That night was electric.
Well, you're definitely a showman, man. You're a showman, and not. I mean, I know we're talking a lot about music, but there's a difference between a really good musician and then a showman, because you still have to be the cover charge to be a showman. Still good musician.
Yep.
But not everybody has that heart and that kind of spirit. You know. Did you know that you had that?
Of course not.
Okay.
No, because it was never my intent.
Right.
I was a musical nerd.
Okay.
Outside of the academic thing, I'm still now. I love music. I don't even know if I could just say I love music. Music is so much a part of me, it's like breathing. So every day, I'm doing music because it's just, I don't know, it's like walking. I mean, I don't need an audience. Right. You know what I mean? So therefore, I was, guitarist, I was transcribing parts, I was writing lead sheets and all of this stuff, and happy doing that stuff. And that's how I got into other positions as musical director and band leader, because I was forced to learn this stuff in high school. So from that point, when I listened to everything. So it's just natural for me to learn the bass part or the drum part, or be able to remember it, or just write a chart, a lead sheet, or a score on it.
Yeah. That's
what kind of brought me into more as a musical director or producer. I was actually doing string arrangements in Jackson at 19 with Mickey Baker, who was like the concertmaster of the Jackson Symphony Orchestra. So I had no intention of being center stage. None. Zero.
That's amazing.
At all.
Because you're so natural at that.
Well, what happened is that a lot of the artists that I was working with, I don't know if it was always intentional. We'd be at the place and the band would be playing the warm-up song, but they weren't ready to come on stage. So we're playing another song. So I'm playing, whether it's a George Benson song or whether it's an Herbie Hancock song or a Grover Washington or West Montgomery thing. So I'm the band leader, I'm center stage. So then, because I could sing a little bit, then I'd sing a song. So I was kind of pushed.
BB's band used to do that. They'd come out and just kind of warm up for 4 or 5 songs.
Yes.
I can remember here playing Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye.
Absolutely.
I thought that was a beautiful cover of Marvin Gaye by just BB's backup band.
It's funny you say that, though, because everybody we talk to, and I find this with so many people who've done well or successful in their own lane, we're never really looking for it. I feel like you kind of trip over it if you want to be, the man. You want to be famous, or you want to be all these things. Like, it's just it was just circumstance that led you to.
When you're not looking for a girlfriend, that's when you find your girlfriend. That's what happened to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that it's such a gift for me to be able to do the same thing that I was doing at 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
That's making noise in my bedroom. And people pay me to make noise on stages around the world.
100%.
Now that is amazing. I still get the same joy when God gives me, and God gives me daily, all of these ideas and these inspiration. Now I get excited when the Holy Spirit just puts something in me, right? But there's another thing when I can manifest that into a tangible product. Yeah. Now I can play it back and listen to it. Man, that feeling is incredible. There is no audience. Here's the next step. Now I construct the song, I write the song, I do the arrangement, maybe I produce it. Then somebody gets to hear it outside of me. Mm-hmm. Taste is selective, so I never let the applause go to my head, and I don't let the criticism go to my heart. But when that composition or production moves people, that's another type of joy. So when you see me on stage, some people, and it's okay for people to use the term showman, but it's really not that for me. For me, it's a point of celebration of gratitude. So what you see on stage is really, without me preaching a sermon, is my worship and praise of God in that context. Because the talent is God's. You're so talented, no, I'm not. That's God's thing. Now, am I a good steward over it? With it?
Yeah.
Do I enhance it? Do I develop my skill set? Am I appreciative? That's the main thing. Am I appreciative? And I'm not ashamed of it. That's the thing. It is not ego. It is not pride. I am not ashamed of the joy and the gifts that God has given me that has sustained me. I am 66 years old and I am making sounds. As a kid, I would fall asleep with a guitar in my hand. I would be sleeping. My grandmother would come and wake me up. Boy, stop playing the guitar in your sleep. You losing your mind. You going crazy. Because she would, I'd be sleeping.
Wow.
Now, the thing is that how can you not be thankful for that?
Yeah.
Come on, I know you.
I'm with you.
I know how thankful you are.
100%.
You are a man of gratitude.
Amen.
Come on, are you kidding me?
That's a beautiful way of putting it, though.
Man, I know your father. I know the joy and the reverence and the respect he has for the gift.
Yeah.
And it is true. You may not want to catch the flight. You know what I mean? You may not want to set the alarm. But when it comes time to either prepare the food or work on the menu and taste it, no one can pay you for that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're talking about passion.
Yeah.
And everybody, I think the three of us, because I know both of you guys well, we are blessed that we found our passion. You found yours early. I was 19 when I found mine. And that's the blessing. So
Regardless of when you find it, just being able to find it at all.
yeah. So many people don't.
Finding it early is awesome. Just being able to find it at all is a blessing.
Good
as well.
point. So you graduate Jackson State?
No, I didn't graduate.
81? Okay. You just started playing and that's it.
I was too busy playing music. Yeah.
We met in '90s. I had Blues Alley. I opened up a live music club. You were one of the first acts to play in there. Just brought the house down. Tell me, because I know you from '97 on. Tell me about '80 to '97.
Oh my God. What work, man. I was working with people like Eddie Floyd, Jeter Davis. When a man.
Were you playing with Bobby Rush yet?
Yeah, I did. The first time I worked with Bobby Rush was in the studio. And I actually did more recording with Bobby than live. That first record I did with Bobby was Sue. It was the hit record. We recorded it in Studio B at Malaco on Northside Drive in Jackson. And the bass player was late. Bobby had heard me in the Elks Club in McComb, Mississippi. It was actually the Lions Club because I worked with the drummer Glenn Holmes. I see it and he said, man, I like the way you play. I'm getting ready to do another record. I want you to come and play on it. What people say that? Right. I'm like 20, 21 years old. And about 2 or 3 months later, he called. I go to the studio to Malaco. The bass player's late. So I ended up playing bass on 2 or 3 of the songs. And then guitar. Maybe, I don't know, a month after that, they asked me to play with ZZ Hill.
I was just about to ask, did you ever play with ZZ Hill?
I was ZZ Hill's band leader. Have you not seen some of those videos?
No, I need to.
I'm going to send them to you because they're on YouTube like 1983.
Big ZZ Hill fan.
So listen. So I was working with ZZ Hill on a hit album with Bobby Rush, which turned out to be Sue. And then the following year I did GC Cameron, so I was working with 3 artists.
Formerly of the Spinners.
Right. It's so hard to say about it yesterday. It's a shame.
That's GC.
Absolutely. Talked to him yesterday.
Oh man, is he in Mobile? Where is he?
He's in Kigali, Rwanda right now. He just went last week, so we've been working in.
Is he still singing?
Of course, he's just fantastic. At 80 years old, he's amazing.
He sang at my wedding reception.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was with George Lawrence and that band. I forget what the name of it was then.
Deanna Hooper.
Yeah, Deanna, George's wife.
Right, and so what happened from there, I became the default contractor for bands for Malaco. When ZZ Hill passed, Johnny Taylor signed, I became Johnny Taylor's band leader, musical director. And we did a DVD that's called Live in Dallas. That's maybe 86, I think it was released. And so I was doing, you know, all of those people. Denise LaSalle.
Yeah.
Then we did a record with Anita Ward, the Williams Brothers. And then later I went out and did a record with Philly Bailey of Earth, Wind & Fire.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I was back and forth
Wow.
after the Malaco thing. But that's what was happening. And then what brought me to Hattiesburg was Kathy Lee Jackson. Yeah, and so she came here going to USM, my wife, right? And so that's what anchored me to Hattiesburg. I've been to Hi-Hat. I mean,
What year was that?
85, 86?
Nice. Hi-Hat was still open.
Well, or maybe close, 88, maybe. Yeah, but I played the hi-hat with Johnny Taylor and ZZ Hill and those people. But that's what anchored me in Hattiesburg. And so I began to, of course, run into people like you, Chris Barker. They had Golden Eagle Florist Shop,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And Chris is a great bass player. He's like my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
And so I was working outside of Hattiesburg. You know, I was here for a couple of years and didn't really do anything in Hattiesburg. I just fly out back, you know, LA, San Francisco, New York, Chicago. And so we began to play at the place, I think it was called the Wild Magnolia, Nick Kalinsky.
Yeah, on Hardy Street.
Yes, Nick Kalinsky.
That's right.
And so, and then I
That
began
would have
to,
been early 90s.
yes. So Ray Ann
Yeah,
and all of those
and
people.
Kim
Yeah.
behind the bar.
Absolutely. And Steve, what wild times, man. And because I never developed a tolerance for alcohol, I would just, you know, very rarely, occasionally have a sip of something, but never really a drinker. It was amazing times, and we were having too much fun.
I bet.
And people who drank were really having way too much fun. You know what I mean? Those were great days, great times.
Speaking of which, how did you handle the grind of now that's all exciting. But if you've ever watched any episode of Behind the Music, it's like, okay, but when was the party too much, or the grind of working nights
Hotel
and
rooms.
weekends, hotel rooms? Did that ever play on your mind, or is it just kind of part of the deal and it never bugged you? Because I don't know if I could be a touring musician, man. It takes a different. Rob Zombie says that of all the people that could tour this band, he's got 1,000 people could play the parts. Of those 1,000, 100 people, you know, are available, and of those 100, only 3 of them can be on a bus with me for 6 months at a time. So you know, and because it's about more than just the music. It's about how you get along with people and how you treat people. So what was that like when you're, you know, in the middle of it in the 80s, 90s, playing? Probably you got to be playing 5 nights a week at least,
Well,
right?
it was basically maybe 3 nights a week.
Okay.
And sometimes there would be extended tours that maybe 1 a month, but that was not common. The touring circuit is much more bigger and consistent in Europe than in America, unless you're with someone who has a huge record. I mean, most, you know, and we would call it at that time the chitlin circuit, right? Those were basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. But more likely would be Friday and Saturday. Occasionally a Thursday, occasionally a Sunday. Man, you know, the thing is, I was 19 years old, so it was all exciting to me. And so I had learned the ropes, and at that time, the older musicians were drill sergeants. You know what I mean? There were no velvet gloves, man. You're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, don't do this, do that. And because I come from a very spiritual family, and my mother, Josie Jackson, my grandmother, Mary Jackson, my grandmother had like dedicated me, you know, to the Lord and to the God when I was an infant and all of this stuff. And my mother wanted a daughter, thought she was having a girl, so she chose the name out of the Old Testament, the book of Esther, Queen Vashti, Vashti. I was born, I had a little something extra, so she took the H out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I got the name. So that thing was always there. Excuse me, you couldn't smoke in my grandmother's house, you couldn't drink in my grandmother's house. And you know, the Bible was pumped into me, so forth and so on. I tried to smoke, I couldn't. First time I felt like someone hit me in the chest. Nothing would stick.
Was secular music a big deal then, to be playing secular music outside the church?
No, because my grandmother was a very spiritual person and a very religious person, but she was very cautious of religious domination. Religious denominations. Mm-hmm. She was really not caught up into whether you were a Baptist or you were a Methodist or you were a Jehovah's Witness. It was really about love. It was about respect. You know what I mean? And somewhat of the straight and narrow. So that's kind of the way I grew up. So when I got in the mix of all of those things, and I had two, I don't mind sharing this, I had two things that were, that I loved, or I enjoyed. Maybe because I was named Vasti, but that was beautiful women and vanilla Haagen-Dazs.
Huh.
That was it.
Not a bad
Never
list.
the drug thing.
Two really good things.
No argument here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No judgment.
That was it. So there you go.
All right. So what I know of you, Vasti, is that you are not only multi-instrumental, multi-talented, certainly a showman, as we've discussed, but you cross all genres. And, it's obviously blues, but the first time I can remember when Vasti played at Blues Alley, my club, the encore was Purple Rain. Mm-hmm. He's brought the house down. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, he rocks too. But not only all that, and the gospel, because I've seen him do gospel with Kathy, but when we were in Tuscany, Vasti was touring with the Tina Turner show and leading that band. And we hooked up, and he came down and visited Jill and me, and we took him out to eat, and we met some friends of ours. And we were on the way back, and just on one of my playlists, Count Basie and Dizzy Gillespie had an album called The Gifted Ones. It's one of my favorite jazz albums, period. And it was just playing. A song came up, which was St. James Infirmary, came up. Vasti's in the back seat, and he's just sitting in the back seat. We had dinner. We had this big Italian dinner. He didn't eat a lot, but everybody's just kind of chill, and we're driving through the Tuscan countryside, and Dizzy Gillespie and Count Basie are playing St. James Infirmary, and it's a very slow, just, the groove is there, and from the back, it's instrumental. Vasti starts singing the most, Jill still talks about to this day, the most beautiful rendition of St. James Infirmary. And I thought, could I put you on the spot? There's a guitar behind you.
Let's see here. Yeah, why not? Well,
so this is no rehearsal.
I went down to St. James Infirmary, where I heard my baby moan. I felt so broken hearted. She used to be my very own. Now she's gone, may God bless her. Say wherever she might be, she can search this whole wide world over, but she will never find a handsome guitar-picking man from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, like thee. That is me. Just a little bit of stairway to Eastside Soul Food.
Nice.
Hey, you gotta give it up for that, man.
You put me on the spot there.
I know I did, and you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Like I knew you would.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing, Jimmy Rogers, the father of country music,
Right.
has a song called Gambler's Blues. Mm-hmm. That's a take on St. James Infirmary.
Really?
Absolutely.
Gambler's Blues.
Gambler's Blues.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man.
Lately, You've been in the movies.
Yeah, well,
When somebody uses the term "see in the movies," and you say that to Vasti, you actually see him in the movies.
It's literal.
Yeah, we'll see you in the movies.
yeah,
Talk about that experience with Tyler.
man, very interesting. I think there was a snowstorm, maybe January of 2023 or something. Was it the big storm in Memphis and everything? I get a call on the phone. Hey, listen, we got a call from the music supervisor from Tyler Perry Studios, and they want to do a song on Millie Jackson. Well, I knew Millie from my early 20s, you know, from ZZ and all that stuff. And so Keith Johnson, who's the great nephew of Muddy Waters, called me about this. A friend of ours had mentioned it to him. So we got in touch with the music supervisor, said, when do you need this? It's a Friday. He says, we need it Tuesday. He's in LA. Millie's in Atlanta. I said, well, let me mock up a demo. So in about 3 hours, I did a demo of the song and I sang all the parts. I sent them the demo. They said, oh yeah, this is great, this will work. They said, okay. I said, well, I knew I either had to go to New Orleans or Memphis to record this because of the type of song it was. And so I went to Memphis. Luckily, I made it before all the snow came down. Booked the studio at Willie Mitchell's Royal Studio. Al Green, Ann Peebles, all of that stuff. Boo Mitchell, his son, still runs the studio. So I got my players in there. Steve Potts on drums from Lyle Lovett, and, Eric Clapton, you know, blah, blah, blah. The Judds, all kinds of stuff. So I got my folk in there. We knocked the song out, sending them tapes to LA and to Atlanta. They love it. Whew, that's Monday. We're done. So now I beat the deadline for 11 a.m. Tuesday. Monday they have it. I'm in a restaurant at 2 o'clock. Get a phone call. Millie Jackson wants to do another song. She don't want to do that song. So it's just, well, listen, we gotta have this done by tomorrow. So we'll, you know, she's in Atlanta. We just hired somebody, and I said, well, listen, I'm still in Memphis. I'll record. Send me the song she wants to do. This song has horns and everything. I said, okay, no word, no problem.
So you're just laying down the track. She's going to do the vocal.
She's going to do the vocal.
Yeah.
Right. So I called Boo Mitchell at Raw Studio. He's booked. So I finally got another studio magnetic recorder. Now the snowstorm hits. I'm able to get my rhythm section. I called Will Brown and Kimball Funches in Jackson, said, listen, I'm sending you an example of the horns. You guys got to start record the horns in Jackson. Send me the wave files.
Yeah.
No, here's the arrangement. Change this, no edit, trombone, trumpet, so forth and so on. So I'm producing the rhythm section in Memphis on the phone, producing and arranging the horns in Jackson at the same time.
And Millie's waiting in Atlanta, and the movie people are waiting in Los Angeles.
Right. So I get into the studio at 7 o'clock p.m. I work from 7 to 2:30 p.m. I got the arrangement, everything done, wave files, a rough mix. I send to them, say, listen, she needs it by 11. It's 2:30. I have got to get some sleep. Let me know if there's anything I need to do.
And there's an ice storm coming.
It's already there.
Oh, it's there.
I'm skidding on the snow trying to get back to the hotel. But I got all the files, so I can wake up, you know, at 9 and do edits. They got the files. Okay, perfect. This will work. So now, the following, later that week, they're gonna shoot the scene with Millie at Ground Zero in Clarksdale, Morgan Freeman's place. So I said, well, if it's a club scene, you know, all of my musicians are here, and you're gonna have actors holding instruments who don't really know the songs. So all of these people know the songs, they know the rhythms, they know the breaks, they know everything. So by God's grace and favor, Joel High in Los Angeles talked to the casting director, say, listen, the musicians who recorded this are in Memphis, where the two of the guys was in Jackson. So we can have them, you know, as the band in the scene. Casting approved it. So as we say, you know, in the industry, so I got my guys another paycheck.
Yeah.
So we did the session and all of that stuff.
Yeah, no joke.
Now they get to come and be in the scene, which they didn't edit us out. We are in there. So so they actually, or all of us are in the scene with Millie Jackson on stage in Ground Zero for Tyler's college road trip, and it was released February 13th. So it's fresh and new, and so I'm very thankful for that. But the one thing that happens with these particular type things, and I think is very, very important, and I speak at schools and do workshops and things like this. This is where drugs and alcohol will kill you, man. When you have something that's on you like that, you cannot be drunk and high. It's too much detail. I work with the Memphis Symphony Orchestra, the Jackson Symphony Orchestra, whereas when you're dealing with 30 or 60 some odd people, everything is union.
You got to be on.
It's got to start. The rehearsal can't be no more than an hour. There has to be 15-minute break. Certain places you can't even bring your amp on stage. I mean, the stage hand, so it's a whole different world. So you have to be user-friendly if you're going to be on the tour bus. You can't, to be a virtuoso, but a butthole, they're going to hire the nice person who's really good and easy to be around.
My pops always said that growing up, because the best drummer ever, you'll never hear him because he's in his mom's basement.
You get it? You dig?
He's real good at learning how to play stuff, but he's terrible with people. And so the best drummer you'll never actually hear, because he just can't do marketing, can't network, can't hang, can't do any of that stuff.
And the thing about, with me, marketing and networking was not a good thing for me, because I'm always in the music. It's even right now. The creative aspect takes over. By the time I get done with the music, I want to eat some good soul food and take a nap. Oh my God, I got to do this Facebook post. I got to do blah, blah, blah. I got to do graphics. Let me call, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even when you're outsourcing it, you got to review it. I was trying to figure out one time, there's something called Asperger's syndrome. I don't know if I have that. But all the time as a kid, music always knocked it pulled me away from other stuff.
Mischief.
Yeah.
It pulled me away.
It's number one.
You know what I mean?
It's the number one thing. That's my father, the same thing. But I mean, I feel the same way about video.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. And you feel the same way about food.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
That's what matters, and everything else.
But I've accepted it.
Falls.
Everything else kind of falls. Yeah. So I need to do this. I need to do that. But I find I have a hobby. I mean, mowing yards is a hobby for me. You know what I mean? Washing dishes is a hobby for me.
You got to work on your hobbies, Vasti.
Seriously.
We got to work on that, man.
Ironing clothes. It's like when I iron,
It's
it's
satisfying.
something therapeutic. Like maybe just seeing the wrinkles come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I get out and mow for exercise. I have a push mower. It's whatever, self-propel, but you still have to. And so I get out and I mow the yards, man, and I sweat, and it just does. It's so much good for me. So in terms of that, and then was it 2025? Because we're in 2026 now. Then I get a call, I guess, in the spring of 2025. I don't remember where it was. About working with the Morgan Freeman Symphonic Blues Experience, which is classic blues songs with Morgan as the narrator. Done with
The
different,
best there is.
Yeah, done with different orchestras and symphonies around the states. What a treat with Martin Gellner, a great orchestrator conductor from Austria, and so that's really a treat, to be in that setting as a guest.
I want to ask you something, because I think about this a lot with the advent of electronic music. Mm-hmm. And we are becoming a more technological society, and it makes certain things easier, it makes other things harder. Where do you see music going in this region and in the United States over the next, 20 years? Where do you see it going?
It's going everywhere. I mean, technology is nothing new. The invention of the wheel, technology. It's nothing new. They're going to go so far out that the fresh thing is going to be the ancient thing. So I call it the ancient future, because we're looking at AI and things of this nature right now. Mm-hmm. all this AI generated stuff. I don't think holograms and things like that are going to do enough. And I've seen the one on Michael Jackson in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people send me AI songs they wanted me to redo. And I said, listen, what you have here, it is missing. It's clever, it's cute, it's accurate. All the stuff is in tune.
No soul.
All the stuff, right. It is missing the perfection of human imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
It's missing the perfection of human imperfection. So a guy sends me this song, and I'm like, what is happening with this song is that wherever they're training AI, it's supposed to be like a blues song, but it's too Nashville. Wherever they're training the AI, listen, it ain't enough black folk for a blues song. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're saying baby when they should be saying baby. You know what I'm saying? This tone is too straight. They said, they didn't go, You know what I mean? So the average layperson is not going to assess that, but they can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is some of the stuff cute? Absolutely. But I think what's going to happen, well, it's already happening. People are going to begin to appreciate you breaking a string and still having to finish the song.
I agree.
Which I've seen you do.
Have to do it. And guess what? People are going to appreciate you being hoarse on a night and you're not sounding just like the record, but you have the enthusiasm and you have the dedication to finish the song.
I heard something the other day on a podcast.
I couldn't agree more.
And they were talking about, the advent of AI and everything, where it's headed, and people spending so much time in front of a screen and where the future is headed. And it felt good to hear it. Was and coming out of the information age into an experiential age, where people are going to want to experience live music. They're going to go to restaurants. They're going to go to festivals. That stuff is going to become more and more important in society. And so
the human connection.
We're going to still have a job, bud.
And
we are going to have a job.
Living your life as fully as possible, yeah.
It is so important with all of the makeup and the fake up and what's that stuff that they do, with the photo now? I mean, they've been doing
Photoshop. And
no, but it's just like
the filters.
All these filters. It is so important to see something that doesn't have a filter. It's a different feel, even visually. So I make choices. I say in many situations, please, I don't want 10 options. Is what? No, I don't want all those files. I don't want 30 takes. I want 3. That's it. I want to be sitting at home in a hotel room going through 30 lead vocal tracks to comp the best vocal track. I'm at a point now where it's like, if the singer can't get it in 3 takes
and no auto tune,
maybe they shouldn't be doing it. Maybe they're not ready for this.
Oh, I got you.
So, but I'm going to be real, Robert. Some situations, you need a little auto tune.
Oh no, Vasti, no.
Come on, man, listen.
No.
Listen to me. Listen. Let me explain this to you. Listen to me.
All right, I'm listening.
You would be surprised.
I need auto tune if I'm going to sing. You don't need auto tune.
Listen. You would be surprised at how many of your favorite country artists and your favorite big artists, not that they truly need auto tune, but it has been a stylistic seasoning now. So there are certain things you hear, because I do a bunch of different styles of music, I can hear where they have, tastefully used auto tune. Even on people like Michael Bublé. These are fantastic singers. Do they need auto tune? They don't need it. You hear a little thing stylistically.
Yeah.
Now, there was a guy that you may remember the name T-Pain. He was the guy that really popularized the hardcore, robotic kind of sound. Not, but not so much vocoder, but where the pitches shift quickly. You could tell it was the auto-tune thing. Yeah. Guess what? He never needed it. He's a great singer.
Yeah.
It became a stylistic tool. And then when people heard him sing without it, they were like, why did this guy use auto-tune? Why? It was a fresh sound. It's the same thing. Where do you want to go, from 35 millimeter?
It was an effect, like reverb or anything
4K,
else.
8K. Come on now.
Yeah. No, I get it.
The digital technology. Do we really need the digital thing?
I'm going to give you that.
Yeah. Well, I do.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do for sure.
Because I still work in analog
Yeah.
and digital.
Yeah.
So guess what? I need the old thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need the cast iron skillet as well.
Right.
Now, I don't want the microwave.
Good.
A lot of people have microwaves.
Yeah.
I just don't want the microwave. Some people will have what? Instant coffee. You dig? We know, So I'm not condemning anyone. I'm just saying that I understand it.
No, I think that was very diplomatic as well. I feel it's a very diplomatic answer. Well, Vasti, thank you so much for joining us here, inviting us here to Eastside Soul Food. This is beautiful. We asked everybody the same question. I like to ask, what was the last thing you listened to on the way over here?
What was on the radio or your stereo?
Not on the radio.
Or whatever.
We just finished a song called Forever Medgar in honor of the iconic late great civil rights leader Medgar Evers. And we did it in conjunction with the Medgar and Merle Evers Institute that is just released and aspiring out to iTunes and all the streaming services. So we're very thankful that they contacted Keith Johnson and I to do this. So we wrote the song, recorded it and released it. And for some reason, I don't know, I just get a feeling that there's this young guy that I know. I met his father many years ago, and someone told me he was a very good videographer. I got a sense that maybe he's going to put together a little video for this. I don't know. You know a guy by the name of
Drew Wooton? I do.
Yeah.
He can play drums too.
He played drums
Just
too.
like his dad.
Drew Wooton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Victor Wooton's brother?
Yeah.
Oh, that's John Wooton's son.
Yeah. That's
You
it.
know that guy?
Yeah, I know that guy. He'll tell you I'm his brother.
Okay.
He likes to say we're brothers.
You know what?
That's weird.
So I listen. All the elements are coming together.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna put myself on the spot because once I write a song and produce a song, it's on to another song, and I don't always really remember the song. I'm thinking of it. I'll give you a snippet. I think I can give you a snippet. Forever Medgar, your legacy lives on. Forever Medgar, thank you for the work you've done. Forever Medgar, you gave all you could give. You laid down your life for a better life for us to live. Just a little snippet in honor of the great Mississippian civil rights leader, Medgar Evers.
Easily the best answer we've ever had to that question.
No doubt.
Easily.
And the best they'll ever be.
Yeah.
Final question, though. You're 12 years old. It's your birthday. Your mother, your grandmother comes to you and says, Vasti, it's your birthday. I'm going to cook you whatever you want. What is it that was your favorite that you're going, this is what I want for supper tonight on my birthday?
Man, let me tell you something.
What is it?
It is very close to this wonderful meal that we are having here at Eastside Soul Food Restaurant. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Absolutely fantastic. Now, but at 12 years old, mustard greens. So it would be fried chicken or turkey necks, and it would be possibly sweet potatoes like we have here.
Those were excellent.
Beautiful. Now, if it wasn't the sweet potato, one thing that my grandmother did was absolutely fantastic, and that was a pear pie.
Interesting.
I'll have to make you one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of pear pie. I love that, though. Makes sense. Peach.
Yeah.
Might as well. Pear.
And so that was it. But a very, Southern meal like this.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Now, so yeah, man, but thank you, Robert.
My friend.
Thank you, Drew. I'm glad things
Thank you, man.
lined up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you, Vanessa.
Thanks, Vanessa. That was great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Eastside Soul Food right here in the Hub City.
Beautiful.
That's it. Homeward.
Beautiful.
When you get hungry, you got to eat.
Great episode. Great guy. That was so much fun getting to actually sit down with a fellow musician. The food was great. The service was great. Vanessa and her son, man, very nice, very kind to let us use their space. And it was just so much fun. It was a blast. And like we said, it's so crazy to get to realize your passion ever, regardless of when you find it, And very grateful to get to do this and get to feature somebody like Vasti, who's been doing it well for so long. Awesome guy, and inspiring to see what you can get done as a guy from Hattiesburg. So if you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, commenting, even subscribing. We won't use your email when you have to submit it. We do nothing with that information. It just helps us grow the show, get bigger guests, hopefully one day shoot more episodes, put out more episodes more frequently. All that's the dream, but we can't realize that dream without you. You are a vital piece of the puzzle, so please consider subscribing. Also, if you're feeling generous, go leave a review on Spotify, on Apple. All of that and any of that helps. And if you've made it this far into the episode, you're either my mother or you are the most loyal of supporter. And either way, we are blessed to have you. Thank you so much. You got to eat.